Alright guys, this is the South Dakota ride. 73 two-door Cadillac. There's not much rust on it. The only rust we could find is right there from where the chrome was sitting. This car had 40,000 miles. And it is pretty dang clean. It's a one owner, came out of California. So we're gonna pull the body bolts off so we can get body and frame separated and get the clip taken off so that we can start on it tomorrow. I'm gonna get hopefully the rest of my Heber UTC Nephi Manti car stripped out and get moving on this one. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. So we're starting the Gold Rush car today. I've got about a solid 2 weeks off of work, so we're going to make the most of our time. Just give you guys a little overview. Didn't really get to clean up the shop very much. I'll try to do it as I go along, but this car is a 73 two-door Cadillac. It's clean. Let's see if I can get the trunk open. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just... No, I can see it. But I'll take you guys on an overview of what we're gonna do. So today we're gonna get body off, rear end out, frame flipped around, and this is the trunk pan. It's all really clean. So we're going to canoe this trunk. It'll be the first time I've canoed a trunk for myself on a Cadillac. Got a whole bunch of tips and tricks from a couple other guys on how to do the trunk. The rest of the car I'm really familiar with. I'm just not sure. I'm not 100% sure on the whole process of sucking the sides over that far. So a couple guys gave me some tricks that we are going to try out. So that'll probably be tomorrow's game plan. Tomorrow's game plan is to strip my other car completely. But we could put a rear bumper on and a couple other things, and I'll give you guys an overview when we're done. But this show we get 18-inch brackets, full cradles, top and bottom seam welding, big cages. Speaker deck can be pressured with the gas tank protector. There won't be much of a speaker deck because we are going to remove it. And we will leave where the hinges mount, and that's about it. All this from here to there is going to get removed. All this will get removed from here to here, and then suck these sides in. The frame rails are right here, so these panels will get, the quarters will get pulled over to level with the frame rail, so they'll get moved over about 10 inches. So this is a new process for me, so any tips would help. Like I've done the Vic trunks with the Mini X, but never really got too crazy with it. We're just gonna do a double stack cage and probably end up just pulling the cage out of my Heber car and replacing the dash bar and replacing the gas tank protector, depending on how it all fits. I'm gonna measure, see where it's gonna sit. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, canoed trunk, stacked door bars. Halo's gonna go up through, the halo is gonna probably come up through right here and be towards the back side of the car to help the pillars out. We get, I think, just one single front bar, and then we get engine plate saddle, chain. We're running spindles at this show. We're not running hump plates. And the reason for that is I'd rather have a hump kink than to lose a tire. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get started on pulling the body off and get working on it. All right, guys, so we got the body pulled off, and we went through, pulled all the bolts out for all the brake lines and power steering lines and all that good stuff, all the stuff we don't need. We're gonna leave the factory rear end in until we flip it around to put the postal in it. We got a little bit of framework to get approved. The car, for some reason, has a little bit of cancer right here. So we're gonna see if we can cut this piece out and replace it with probably 1/8 inch or so. And then, but as of now, I'm gonna go through, take all these brake lines and shit off. And then we're gonna go through and wire wheel and just clean this frame up. I think it's just got a lot of dirt on it. So we're gonna go through, wire wheel it, get the welder in here, top seam pass everything, and then get the rear bumper on it and prep it so we could get the rear end installed, the bumper on. Well, bumper's actually probably gonna wait for just a minute until we get the suspension done. So we're going to actually change out the upper A arms. We're gonna leave the lowers. I was thinking about doing a different lower, but it's just too much work to do in this amount of time. So we're going to cut the rear frame rail off, just right here, and just square it up with everything else. And then we're gonna run a ramped rear bumper. And yeah, so I'll show you guys what it looks like when we are done. All right, guys, so we are stripping out the Heber car. Just give you guys a little overview. Probably, I don't know, car held up pretty good overall. We gotta strip this thing out and get all this stuff ready to go into the South Dakota car. So we're gonna take rear end out, put the rear end in on the frame that's in the shop. But everything looks like it stayed pretty square. So hopefully it's easy to take out. So we're gonna pull, I believe the all thread's still good. I'm gonna wrap a chain around the rear end just in case. And so we can pull this rear end out and not have it fall on us. We're gonna probably end up pulling, I haven't really looked under this thing much, but We're just gonna pull the bolts out of the back and then pull them off the frame later, because I'll use different lowers for the South Dakota car. But it doesn't look like it bent in front of the humps at all. Like it started to bubble just a little here, but it's almost like it locked in to the gas tank protector. And see, I had to trim up my hump plate because I accidentally got the oversized one. So next year, I'll never do this again. Every single one of them did that. At least in the trunk. I'm not sure about the front, but we won't be pulling body bolts or anything and reusing any of it. We'll just reuse all the inside stuff, part of the cage, rear end, spindles, ball joints, and the front bumper out of this car. So we're gonna get moving with it, get this rear end in under the caddy frame today, and get the height set on that car. I'll show you what it looks like. All right guys, so we've got some progress made on this car. We got rear bumper and rear bracket on, the 10 inches on the frame. Body pucks are just set there. We're just gonna go through and give one just a little tiny tack so it doesn't move on install. We got our side-to-side chain, got our hump chain, we got our rear end all thread, control arms are in with all grade 8 bolts, and then we got our one rust repair. We're gonna have to make some little adjustments to make sure that this sits in there, but overall, back of the car's done. Like I said, we're going with spindles, not hump plates. So the next thing we're going to work on is doing the frame welding, doing the suspension, and then we'll flip the frame upside down, do all the underneath welding, flip it the other way, possibly, and weld the other side. I'm finding out right now exactly where, because to me, right here's firewall. So I feel like anything forward of it should be able to be welded on just the one seam. We don't get to go around the spring pocket and engine cradle. And then we're gonna go through, we're gonna cut the sway bar. We actually might end up using a Vic sway bar. I gotta look at the rules first. We got it marked where we can cut it. It's exactly 18 inches from the front of the lip. And then we can plate the saddles. And then I'm gonna clarify exactly what they mean. It says like the first 8 inches and then the last 4 or something. So I don't know what. I'm gonna double check because it doesn't make any sense. And then before we install the body, we're going to do some measurements and put the cross member in. So, yeah. Kind of scared to do it because I've never put the cross member in before the engine and stuff. So, I just want to make sure I can get all the way around it really nicely. And so it doesn't fall out. Because it'll be a 2x3, and I believe it can be solid steel. So, yeah, here's a little update for you guys. It's Monday, it's like the 25th or 6th of September. I just pulled this car in last week. So, everything's not going to be exactly how I want it. I wish I could spend a little bit more time on some things. But overall, like just like little things like the washer's not perfectly circle, but it'll still work. It'll still be a good car, I believe. We got I already showed you, we got the rust repair. We got 2 sets of A-arms that we're gonna try and see how it works with the big spring pockets on these cars. And I'm also gonna see if we can beat this nipple down to flatten it, or if we have to just use washers to level it. So there's a little overview. Tomorrow I'm hoping to get front bumper, suspension, the seam welding, and then the engine saddle, and possibly setting the body on, but that'll probably be Wednesday's agenda, is doing the body bolts, and then hopefully Thursday and Friday do the trunk, maybe slap a cage in it. All just depends, but let me know what you guys think. The ride height is a little high right now. It'll be down like 3 inches from this. So we'll set the back exactly at 14 with these tires. But I really liked how this bumper turned out. So let me know what you guys think. I think this chain will help the movement of this little S. And then I'm gonna weld my all thread right there. So hopefully it'll keep this from crunching into the tires. And hopefully this is from here to here solid enough that it just won't move there. And hopefully the ramped bumper or the wedge bumper will divert all the punishment to the frame, and it'll move it up onto the body. That can take a little bit more abuse without bending and messing up a bunch of stuff. So let me know what you think, and I'm gonna get this posted. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.